Hi, my name is Andrew Lowe. I'm a certified SOLIDWORKS expert here at Javelin Technologies, and in this installment on our series of tips and tricks for consumer product design, we're going to take a look at the replace phase command and how it can be used to quickly add crowning to plastic parts. Now, it's a really good idea to add some degree of crowning to the plastic parts, so that way when they're molded, we see less defects in the part, and we also have much higher quality reflections. We want to have a bit of curvature on those flat faces so that way light reflects better off them. So what I've done here is extruded a block, and I've also specified 2 degrees of draft angle, so we'll be sure that this part will eject properly from the mold. I've also created a sketch here, and looking at it, see that I have a center line that I'm going to use as an axis for my revolution. I also have another center line here, and what I'm using this center line for is a tangency relation on this arc. The reason I have the tangency relation so it's nice and smooth along the center point of our revolve. So let's create a revolve surface. We'll pick up our axis here. This looks good. And I'm going to use this revolve surface as a workpiece for a replace face tool. That's found underneath the surfaces tab. Replace face right here, and I can grab a surface revolve as our replacement surface, and our target face for replacement will be the top face of this extruded block. When I click OK, the software does is figure out the intersection here. So this is kind of like extrude up to surface, but it has a little bit more material, because not only will it add material, it will also remove material from my model. What I'd like to do now is right click, and under my body option here I'm going to delete, and this is going to remove the surface body from the model because it's no longer required. I'm now going to go in and use my fillet tool, maybe a 20 mil radius. I'm going to use face fillet here. The reason I'm using face fillet is that I have that curvature continuous option, so I have a really nice smooth transition like we talked about in other videos. So unfortunately I do have to go in and manually click all of the edges. I can't put them all into one feature. So while it does take a little bit more work, the results are worth it. So I now have nice smooth corners, and I'm once again going to use a face fillet between the top face and one of my side faces with maybe a 3mm radius curvature continuous. If I zoom in closely, I can actually see that this fillet gets slightly larger across the middle. I'm going to turn constant width option on, and this is going to maintain the same width of the fillet the entire way around the part. Now I'm going to jump back to my features. I'll use the shell, perhaps with a 1.5mm wall thickness, and I'll remove the bottom face from the model. And there we go. So I've now created a really high quality surface. This is going to be a really nice looking part. Let's verify that by applying that chromium plate onto our part again, and I can see that the part's very smooth. I have nice reflections on the top, versus if I just had that flat face, notice that I have no reflections at all. It's very drab. But using a little bit of crowning, thanks to a surface revolve and the replace face, we have a much nicer looking product. Thanks for joining us.